Good morning. Thank you for joining us. We're going to be doing a little thread painting and quilting on a beautiful pheasant block from our upcoming Upland Game Bird Block of the Month program at Bluebird Quilt Studio. I'm excited to show you some tips and techniques that I use to add a little pizzazz to bird quilts. Hopefully you'll find a feathered friend to add to your next quilt. This Block of the Month program is starting in October of 2017, and we want to invite you and give you this little sneak peek of what's to come with our video instruction that comes along with this program. We want it to be really helpful and supportive in the place where you need the most help, which is right at your sewing machine. We'll also be doing some Q&A sessions that would be live so that you get a little personalized feedback, because you also need a little support from a teacher. So we look forward to sharing that with you. A little bit about this quilt. This quilt was inspired by hunting and fishing in Idaho with my dad. I grew up here in Idaho, and my dad oftentimes would take us out on the weekends for little nature trips. He was a physician, but he loved Idaho nature, and he himself did a lot of hunting and fishing, and many of our childhood pictures have either game birds from hunting or big fish. So in any event, here's a picture of my dad with some pheasants that I'm sure that he went hunting with a hunting buddy and got. Many of these trips, hunting and fishing, also included a little science lesson on the side, and part of the reason why I'm a biology teacher to this day. So Dad, this quilt's for you, and I look forward to sharing these little tips and techniques and sharing a little bit of my love of Idaho and Idaho nature with you in this upcoming series. So join us, and I'll get started in just a moment. All right, this is where we're headed with this pheasant block. So as you can see, it is stitched on the background of a beautiful table runner. This table runner pattern is available to those of you that decide to move forward with our Upland Game Bird Block of the Month. I will send the table runner pattern to you as well. So in any event, this particular block has this great, awesome, vibrant pheasant. So we are going to talk just a moment about how you do these fusible appliques and how we can make that easier for you. So the pattern comes with a placement guide that allows you to layer the fabrics easily. That's really kind of a nice little addition, so make sure that you're kind of paying attention to where the fabrics overlap and how they work together to create these laser appliques. You'll want to assemble this bird in sections, but once you get the hang of it, it's actually pretty easy to do this. The first thing you'll want to do is you'll want to remove the paper backing from the fusible web, and then you start placing these little pieces, little puzzle pieces, right over the top. And as you can see, they really are precision cut so that they layer quite nicely. I want to make sure the paper's off of those pieces before I lay those down. And then we'll just lay these babies all together, and I'll show you how they all work together to create a beautiful little block. Having a silicone applique sheet is really the secret to being able to put these intricate little blocks together in no time at all. So they just layer up. So this silicone applique sheet, and we'll put a link to that sheet below, is going to make this a beautiful little sheet. And you can see in very little time we layered up those blocks. Okay, and this little guy tucks right underneath this. And it's a little fussy, but you can get it if you just are patient. pair of tweezers or a skewer or stiletto is also really helpful. All right, we're going to make sure that we got everything covered up. There we go. All right, so once you have it the way you want it, I think I'm going to use my pencil here just to tuck this in a little bit more. There we go. There we go. Once you've got it the way you want it, there we go. This little clover iron is really helpful to tack it in place because these shift in flight, no pun intended. And by tacking it in place with that little clover iron, you're really kind of ensuring that you're not going to have a disaster zone when you take it to your full iron to iron it. All right, so that just tacks it in place. And you assemble these in small sections. So this one I've already taken to my iron and fused it all together, and you can see it now moves in place. By the way, do not remove it from your silicone sheet until it's completely cool. I can then tuck this right underneath this other applique after it's totally fused and ready to go, and then you can assemble your block with success and really quite quickly. So that's once you have your laser cut kit all assembled with the pheasant, then of course you would fuse the entire bird to the center of your table runner. It is going to extend beyond the block, so don't worry about that. You're going to add some definition and some extra special awesomeness by doing some thread painting. To get your groove on for that, I have a little suggestion for you. Take some tearaway fusible or tearaway stabilizer that you might use in an embroidery project. You can easily see through this transparent material and outline your pheasant. Then you get a nice picture from the internet and take a peek at what those feathers actually look like, how they're shaped. There are little points here around the neck. They get more rounded here at the breast of the bird, and the belly of the bird, they kind of get larger, fluffier, and a little bit more rounded. So you can kind of create a game plan for how you're going to stitch this quilt. After you have your markings on there, that could be done in colored pencil or whatever marking tool you want, then you take it over to your sewing machine and you're going to practice your free motion stitching right on this stabilizer. That's going to allow you to try out some designs that don't work as well and ones that you like a lot. So by doing this little extra test strip, you're ensuring that there's not an unfortunate event on your beautiful applique.